Let's see what we have. Our soldiers handled themselves well in Adamant.
We've come a long way since Haven. I fear there's still a ways to go, but we're prepared. All right.
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
What's the next favor we need to get these Du Paraquets a lordship?
We must persuade Minister Belize to ratify the papers. She's in charge of these matters of rank. The minister will be at a small fete thrown by the Marquis Wiscott. I'll get you an invitation.
Something you wanted to talk about?
Tell me the truth, Varric. Do you actually think I was sent by Andraste?
Shit. This is going to be awkward. I guess I do. Either you're guided by the hand of some higher power, or you have the worst luck.
I wouldn't have pegged you as an Andrastian.
It's a great story. It's got heroism, love, betrayal, and random musical numbers. What's not to like? I don't have a nug in this race. It could be bullshit, it could be true. I'll never know. But I like the idea that maybe you could save the world with a song.
That's not a reason to believe in me. It might actually be the opposite.
Look at all the shit that's happened to you. You were saved from the explosion that leveled a mountaintop and fell out of the Fade. You traveled through time, faced down one of the ancient magisters who started the Blights, had a mountain fall on you, and lived, stopped an army of demons. One of those things would be impossible. All of them together? That's a miracle.
So on the basis of my extraordinarily bad luck, you think I'm Andraste's herald?
If you know the story of Andraste, you know that bad luck is sort of her thing. If you've got questions, I'm your dwarf.
The red lyrium we found at the temple seemed to upset you.
My brother Bertrand and I sort of discovered red lyrium during an expedition in the Deep Roads. We located an ancient Tig, so old it barely looked dwarven. There was this idol there made of it. Bertrand brought it back to the surface, and, well, everything's gone downhill from there.
I've seen it infect people like a disease, and turn them to lyrium. How can it do that?
That's a good question. To tell the truth, we don't really know what that shit can do to a person, and I don't want to find out.
What could the Templars want with it?
In Kirkwall, just having the lyrium idol made Knight Commander Meredith impossibly strong. Before it turned her into a lyrium statue, anyway. Maybe they thought the power was worth it, or maybe they didn't know the consequences.
What makes it special?
Regular lyrium can mess you up pretty badly, but you have to ingest it for that to happen. Red lyrium messes with your mind when you're just near the stuff. You hear singing, get violent, paranoid, and then it does creepy shit. Makes things float, brings statues to life. It also turned Kirkwall's Knight Commander to lyrium. Everyone's been kept at least 100 paces from it since.
How did the red lyrium get in the Temple of Sacred Ashes?
I don't know. So as far as I knew, the only piece to make it to the surface was destroyed. And the location of the Tig it came from is a secret. Did someone find more of it in the Deep Roads? That's not a cheery thought.
So what is it? Just another kind of lyrium?
The red stuff is lyrium like a dragon is a lizard. It's not just a different color. It has a whole host of weirdness all its own. I've written to every mining cast house in Orzammar. No one's seen this stuff before or knows where it came from.
I think that's enough on red lyrium.
Yeah, not really my favorite subject.
The new power you wield. I heard from Cassandra that it is the magic of the Knight Enchanters. If I am not mistaken, the techniques descend from those of ancient elven mages, called arcane warriors. I wonder what they would think to see their magic used in defense of the Chantry.
I doubt they were called arcane warriors in Elven.
The formal name for the techniques you have learned was the Durthena and Nasalim, knowledge that led to victory. Mages who eschewed physical confrontation called it Gilanim Banalvan, the path that leads astray.
What can you tell me about the arcane warriors?
They were elite guardsmen, serving as bodyguards or champions for nobles, as I understand. Mages who focused on spirits or the Fade might sneer at their physicality, but never doubted their honor. They were the living embodiment of will made manifest, mind shaping the body into the perfect weapon.
The ancient elves aren't here. We are. If their techniques help the Inquisition, I don't care what they think.
Of course. The current war must take precedence over the concerns of those long gone. Did you need anything else?
I need to know more about Corypheus.
You've taken his army. He lacks the conventional forces to take Orlais. He must see Orlais destroyed utterly by whatever means possible, not merely thrown into chaos.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
So Varric knew where the champion was all along. That's the last time we sent Cassandra to interrogate.
Anything I should know?
I've nothing to report at the moment.
I'll leave you to your work.
Was there something you needed?
I could use some fresh air. Would you?
But he kept talking. We all just looked at each other. The mages were as confused as I was. Was there something you needed?
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
How do you like working with Liliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our soldiers handled themselves well during the siege on Adamant. They reacted quickly to changes on the battlefield. More importantly, they relied on each other. Trust in your fellow soldiers is not something that can be trained.
I should let you get back to work. Planning troop movements now?
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
We make the world a better place.
Because everyone agrees on what better means. I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
Even if they're not right, they're certainly admirable.
Some would disagree. They would call it heresy.
That didn't sound like the ravings of a heretic, Cassandra.
Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
I'm guided by what my conscience tells me.
Your conscience must speak more clearly than mine.
I doubt it, but I do my best.
When we first met, if someone told me I would be pleased to have you lead me, I would have throttled them. But I am. The Maker chose well.
I hope we can call each other friends.
I hope so too. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here.
Your worship?
Can you think of any other tasks suitable for the Chargers?
You sealed the main rifted adamant, but the fortress is still a mess. Demons, darkspawn, Maker knows what. I can take Rocky out there with some of the boys. They know how to bring down walls. We can't close rifts, but we can bury the bastards under a ton of rubble.
We'll talk later. How you doing? Can you tell me more about Saharon?
It was a damn ugly place. Only getting uglier when I left. Between the Fog Warriors, the Talva Shoth, my people, and the Vince. You were lucky to go a day without blood. What do you want to know?
What were the Fog Warriors like?
They were the worst of the rebels. They trained for stealth attacks. They made this fog. I never saw any mages, so I figured it was alchemy, not magic. They were almost invisible in it. I'd be on patrol in the market square. The fog would roll in, and before I knew it, half my squad dead without a sound.
It almost sounds like you admire them.
They didn't use poison. They didn't hurt civilians, and they were damn good fighters. You have to respect that. Plus, they hit the Vince as hard as they hit us. Hearing some terrified Magister scream, "My slaves! Where are my slaves?" in the fog always put a smile on my face.
Tell me about the Talva Shoth.
When Qunari can't handle the fighting in Saharan or lose faith in the Qun, they go rogue. They flee into the wilderness and turn into bandits, attacking everyone. They're vicious, savage. You look at them and you can see why my people needed the Qun to stay civilized.
Isn't that what you did, though?
Hey, when I burned out, I didn't go rogue. I reported in and went where the Ben Hasrath sent me. I'm doing my job, serving the Qun out here. I'm not some bandit. I am nothing like them.
Tell me about the Tevinter people you fought.
The Vince sent forces to Saharan every autumn. Guess they didn't like the summer heat. We had some good fights on the beaches, standing in knee-high water foaming red with blood, ships on fire around us. The cities were worse. Free bit of advice. Don't let the Inquisition forces get suckered into urban combat.
Why do you hate Tevinter forces so much? What makes them so bad?
It's not their armies. It's their spies. They bloodied Saharan year-round, killing loyalists, supporting rebels. Alam had no city administrator. Nobody would accept the position. The last 4 who held it died inside a year. Trying to conquer a country is one thing. Making it so nobody can live there, that just screws everyone.
What are things like for the natives of Saharan?
I remember one guy. He made these things, fish wrapped in thin bread. Nice guy. Talk to him every morning. So, one time I'm asking about his bad back, and I see he's nervous, trying to tell me something with his eyes. Next thing I know, his assistants draw knives and come at my team. The rebels had forced him to poison my food.
And then?
I'd seen how nervous he was, so I hadn't eaten anything. A couple of my guys weren't so lucky. We killed the rebels. I lost 2 men to the poison, another to knife wounds. My friend who made the fish wraps died with a knife in his throat. Close quarters fight. He was caught in the middle. That is what things are like for the natives of Saharan.
See you later, Bo.
Nice talking with you, boss.
See? What did I tell you?
Something on?
Thank you. Thank you.
Are things playing out the way you expected?
Cassandra laid it out, right? You're the big hat now. Gonna make everything the way it should be. The praying's nice, I suppose. Coryphe's bit, though. Shite.
Do you have any worries about how my magic is developing?
Really? You have to ask what's so bad about the magic stuff. I mean, that weirdy talking about night whatevers.
Night Enchanter. Battle magic.
Not helping. I don't understand that stuff. It's scary to anyone smart enough to think for a second. You shouldn't be scary. You're the Inquisitor.
What has you so scared?
You really don't know? Most people are scared. I mean, there's lots of mages here, but most never see one. Never. You're weird, and I know you, so you're not scary. But lots of people don't know you. I don't want you to be just a scary mage.
This is what I am. I have to embrace it. Too much depends on me.
Right, now you've got to make me feel bad for being frightened. Fine, whatever.
So you like to have fun. The Inquisition seems an odd fit. Why are you really here?
What do you mean? To help people.
It's starting to sound like you're looking for something more.
It is. Mostly. Okay, fine. There's talk and I want to see.
See what?
I don't know. I've got all this chantry stuff in my head, and it makes sense, right? But it's fuzzy. I want to see if it's all really real. I just don't know if I want to really know. So I'm selfish. It's all for me. Count yourself lucky, I guess.
I'll be back if I need you.
Go on.
You sure? I don't know. He was their enemy the whole time, but she made him forget, so he could change.
I'd like to talk with you about the Inquisition.
I don't understand it. People talk like it's a person, but it's not even a thing. A dagger can be a way to let pain out, but even if it isn't, it's still a dagger. The Inquisition isn't real unless it has something real to make it. It's like a spirit.
I've heard about some oddities here in the Keep. Was that you?
Yes. Maybe. What was it?
Can I assume you're responsible for the turnips that have shown up in the fireplaces?
They don't smell the same, raw.
You needed that soldier to smell them, so he could die thinking he'd gone home.
He did go home.
Someone is leaving peeled plums on the windowsill. It's attracting flies.
Spiders need to eat.
And healers need something to treat infected wounds, like spiderwebs.
The plums are already dead. They don't mind helping.
Someone stole an entire cheese wheel.
Mice like cheese.
Do mice also like bowls of crushed mint?
That was for the cats.
So the cheese lures the mice, and the mice lure the cats, and then they smell the mint?
Mint makes the cats dance and play.
Let's talk about something else.
All right.
I'll talk to you later.
Probably.
Inquisitor.
Scout Harding.
We're on the outskirts of Sarnia. This is what's left of the town. The lucky ones got out before the river froze over. The rest, penned in by Fade Rifts and Red Templars. We're the first friendly face they've seen in a long, long while.
How did an entire river freeze so quickly?
It got really cold, really quickly. Sarnia relies on its river for everything. Trade, food. They weren't expecting this.
I should look in on the townsfolk, see what they can tell me.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it. The Red Templars have been mounting frequent attacks. They won Emprise de Lyon. Bad. Let's get out there and take it back from them.
Inquisitor, I've something for you.
What is it?
See for yourself, sir.
What happened here?
Oh, how could you have dropped it? Foolish, clumsy girl. Mama trusted the ring to you when she died. Now the Templars will get it, bad Templars. Demons with trusted faces. They'll find the small blue house, they'll find the ring. Stupid girl, how could you? No, I dropped it. It's gone. Gone.
Michel de Chauvin at your service, your worship. I saw the Inquisition's banners from afar. Never expected to see the Herald of Andraste himself.
Sir Michel de Chauvin? Empress Celine's champion?
No longer a champion. No longer, sir.
Michel de Chauvin. I know your story. You were disgraced and banished from court for treachery.
There's much more than that, but it ends the same way. What does it matter? Despite all, I have a strong arm, a stout heart, and I still serve Ole.
Are you here to guard the people?
As much as I can, although this was not my original intention. I hunt a demon. This one calls itself Imshale, and has settled in Suladin Keep, up in the hills. Imshale is free because I made a mistake. I will see him destroyed. Now that the Inquisition is here, perhaps the Red Templars who guard the keep can be routed. All I need is one chance.
I need to know more about Imshale.
A desire demon, more cunning than anything I have encountered. And I have played the game. Imshale has roamed the land for some time. If anything, he will have grown in power. Why he is here in Emprise de Lyon, however, is anyone's guess. Perhaps he has gained the cooperation of the Red Templars, or vice versa.
What's in Suladin Keep?
Red Templars, so far as I can tell. Suladin is an elven fortress, left to crumble. The locals always avoided it, believing it the haunt of ancient elven spirits.
You know where the demon is. Why wait?
I am but one man. Suladin Keep is guarded by Red Templars. While I would happily give my life for this, I would not give it in vain.
You could serve the Inquisition. We have use for strong arms and stout hearts.
No, not until Imshale is defeated.
We have to stop this mage. That it came to this, but at least it is done.
Dorian, I can't believe you drank that swill at the tavern.
I can't believe they served that swill at the tavern. What is Skyhold coming to?
Then why did you drink it?
I couldn't stop. With each sip, it was...
Inquisitor.
Try not to touch it or anything.
Is it true that Kirkwall's Knight Commander became a statue?
Absolutely true. She's still there, bringing an extra dose of horror to Gallows tourists.
No one's moved it. I mean, her.
And make it impossible for children to play Who's Brave Enough to Poke Meredith.
They don't actually do that, do they?
No. No one's brave enough to poke Meredith.
Feels warmer around the crystals.
I'd rather be cold than touch that stuff.
What's your estimation, Varric? Think we can win?
You aren't asking me to give odds on our beloved Inquisitor's success.
What would that look like? 3 to 1?
In his favor?
After Corypheus pulled an archdemon out of his arse, are you joking?
You would actually bet against me?
Now, if I weren't here, it'd be 5 to 1 at least.
Brave man. We'll talk later.
Good find.